Have you ever wondered what it would be like to go off of your GLP-1 medications? Well, that is exactly what I did. I took a 12-week break off of tirzepatide after 10 months of weight loss, losing 110 pounds, and I still have about 40 pounds of weight to lose to get to my goal. Buckle up, Buttercup. It's going to be a wild ride. Before I start, it astonishes me to find out that 56.5% of my returning viewers to this page are not currently subscribed. If you're new here, my name is Candace Cunningham, and this channel is all about pushing GLP-1 medications to the absolute maximum, utilizing science, technology, peptides, absolutely anything that can increase your chances of success. That's what we're here for. So if you kind of relate to that topic matter, push the subscribe button. It's a zero-cost option to help my very small little channel. So let's get into it. Why did I cycle off? Well, I was near my maximum dose. It was a holiday season. I get seasonal depression. My weight loss had slowed dramatically. There was months where I would go a month or two losing maybe a pound, pound and a half. My calories were ridiculously low. We're talking 700 to 1,100 calories. And here's the God's honest truth. I was tired of dieting. I worked so hard for 10 months, balls to the wall. I counted every calorie, every macro, weighed myself daily, had over 20 DEXA scans, utilized my EMS suit to gain 16 pounds of lean muscle mass while on a severe calorie deficit, while losing 110 pounds. They're on sale right now, by the way. I prioritize my sleep. I use a PMEF mat, drink over a gallon of water a day. It was a lot, all the time, just thinking about this journey. And why did I go so hard to begin with? Well, I don't know how long this medication was going to last. Apparently, about 10 months. And I wasn't going to waste time on my journey by YOLOing it. And hey, listen, if that's you and that's where you do your journey, that's fine. But it's just not me. That's not what I wanted for my journey. I wanted to go hard because I had a lot of weight to lose. I started over 300 pounds January 9th. 300 pounds. And I heard from a lot of creators like, oh, I'm in a stall, or I don't think the medication's working anymore. So while I had my hands on this miracle drug, I was going to make it and my mindset create miracles for me. But after 10 months, I was ready for a break. My calories were so low, I needed to resensitize my body to the medication. Basically, if you're familiar with any kind of bodybuilding stuff, I needed to cycle. I needed to give time for my body to catch up to where we were, get my calories out of this ridiculously low range. 700 calories is not a sustainable life. And listen, where I'm going hard, I'm not going for a sustainable. I don't care if it's sustainable because I don't want to diet forever. That's not sustainable. When you're training for a race, the Olympics, a marathon, an athlete training for the Super Bowl, whatever, that regimen is not sustainable either. But it's working diligently and very hard to get to a goal that you want. And that's what I was doing. I was going super hard to get to a goal that I want. But 10 months of it, it's exhausting. I needed to get my calories up, aka like reverse diet. And I do believe in cycling peptides. I've been around peptides for 20 years in my life. Every partner I've ever been to has cycled some sort of peptides. And with the holiday season we're approaching and my seasonal depression, my annual pity party going into effect, it was the perfect storm and the perfect opportunity to take a break from these medications. I stopped. How did it go? Did your healthy habits kick in? Did all of the knowledge and the learning over the last 10 months set you on the right path? Hard effing no. Hard no. It didn't go from 0 to 100. See, when you stop the medications, they're still in your system. So for about 30 days too. So I'd stop the medication, and weeks 1 through 3, I'm like, "Phew, this is not bad. Like I got this." Week 4, started having a little bit of food noise. And it would come in little hits, like here and there and here and there. Week 5, week 5 was the absolute worst. I cannot overstate this enough. On week 5, I could not get a grip. Did I use my tools, prioritize protein first? No, poor decisions were happening everywhere. I mean, everywhere. Oh my God. I was like, I don't know. It's like I had a credit card with no spending limit. It was out of control. My vacationing was vacationing. And it was just insurmountable, the poor decisions that I was making. I mean, happily. I mean, when you go on vacation and you make stupid decisions, make for good stories, right? Not these ones. These were just bad decisions that tasted really, really good. Um, so when I said a few months ago that I was going to do this, when I told you guys a few months ago that I was going to do this, I'm going to stop the medication and I was going to utilize all my tools and listen, I was coming from a place of privilege. I had the privilege of all the medication scaring my mind of what it was going to be like. And this privilege caught up to me because the reality of the situation is coming off was not manageable. Not in the beginning. Not in the beginning of week 5. And that lasted until week 8. It was, oh my, like people call me, "Hey, you want to go out for lunch, for dinner?" I want to go out for all of the things. All of them. It was, oh my God, it was absolutely horrific. Listen, I wouldn't do anything for a Klondike bar, but I was about to do some sketchy shit for some tacos. It consumed my brain. It's as if my body had been sending hunger cues for the last 10 months saying, "Hey, we're starving down here. You think you can get around to feeding us?" And nothing was coming through because of the GIP. And now the medication was going out of my system and it's like, hey, she's listening. Send it all. Send it. And my body, oh my God, it was listening. I was listening too. We all were listening. Oh, it was amazing. So did I feel bad? Did I feel bad about this? I mean, kinda. I kind of felt bad because it was very painful watching the scale go up and up and up every single day. Climbing the mountain like the little mountain guy from The Price is Right. Yeah. But ultimately, I knew it was going to be better. Could I have approached it better? Probably. Everything's clear in hindsight. But at the time, worth it. But I wanted to reset my metabolism. I just didn't want to do it at the taco stand. Uh, so what was okay? So what was the damage? Well, I started off at 198 pounds. And what did I finish off at week 8? 220. Yeah, you heard me right. 220. Let that sink in for like a second. 220. Now, if you take the 20 pounds times 3,500 calories equals 1 pound of fat. Did I consume 70,000 calories above my RMR? No. So obviously part of that is going to be inflammation. But I'm not going to sit here and lie to you or to myself. Was there a lot of inflammation? No, a lot of it was me and tacos. So you're probably like, oh, okay, oh shit, what am I going to do if I have to stop this medication? Well, there is actually good news. There is a silver lining. Around week 9, I stabilized, meaning that insane hunger had tapered off. And so I started eating, like I told you, 700, 1100 calories. And I was now at week 9 and I was eating 16 to 1800 calories and my weight was not fluctuating. We had stabilized. And that's what it took. 20 pounds, 8 weeks off or 12 weeks off, my body had reset itself. And so I maintained that weight for from 9 to 12. And so at the end of week 12, that was the end of the cycle. And so I marched my ass down to Los Angeles and got a DEXA scan, paid my $29.95 and went and got a DEXA scan so I would know exactly where I was starting at on the next leg of my journey. Yeah. When I got home from that DEXA scan, I pulled that syringe like I imagine drug addicts in movies where I just take the tube and tie it off. I was so ready to go. I was so ready to go. So I got home, I took that 2.5 and I harpooned it in my belly. And I went to bed. I went to bed that night with thoughts and prayers, right? And then when I woke up the next day, like, do you guys remember that first time that you felt that the medication was working? And you weren't, like, at that time, it's the first time medication, you weren't really sure. I woke up that morning and the chatter it wasn't gone, but it was quieted. I wasn't immediately thinking about, like, making breakfast. I just wanted to get coffee. And that's what I woke up to. So week 1 took the edge off, right? It took the edge off on 2.5. I came from 12.5. 2.5. And by the end of that, about day 4 of that first week, I was golden. And then I knew that this experiment, this huge risk I took for myself and myself only, had been a complete success. Because now, here I am. My calories are back up to normal. I've resensitized my body to the medication. And this gamble, all on 000, paid off. Now we come to the kind of like, oh, what are we going to do now? Now that we have 60 pounds to lose until we get to a manageable goal? Well, that's a really good question. And I know that a lot of people have diet triggers, right? I'm not one of them. I don't mind hopping on the scale every day. I don't mind analyzing the math, looking at my DEXA scans, watching the scale going up and down, like little increments that it does on its leg down. That doesn't bother me. For me, it's just math and science, right? And to be honest with you, I want to try all the diets, all of the crazy diets that I was unsuccessful on in my prior youth because I couldn't stick to them because I was hungry. And now we have this miracle medication and we're not hungry. I want to try everything. And I do mean everything with no limitations. Any crazy stuff, I want to try it. But where I have rested at is I've seen so many people like Pug that you may have seen on the show before and so many other like gym bro type people. I want to do carnivore. And I think it's just an interesting thing with not having any of the sugars or the carbohydrates. I want to do carnivore. And I want to do long fast. More than 1 day. More than 48 hours. Maybe more than 36 hours. I don't know. But I want to do long fast. I did one in the very beginning of my journey that lasted a few weeks. It was a long medically supervised fast. It was a long fast and I never felt so great in my entire life. So I would like to do a long fast, at least one of them. But I'm not, if I can't make it 73 hours, I'm going to go as long as I can while the medication is as strong as it's going to be. And then I'm going to go into OMAD, 1 meal a day. I might do the protein shakes. I know it's not technically 1 meal a day, but I'm going to have one actual like forks and knives and spoons meal once a day. And I'm still going to stick to my Isopure because I do think that that is the best quality protein you can get because you're not paying for any carbs and any fats. The only calories are from protein. So you literally cannot get any protein powder So it's Isopure and pure whey protein that have less caloric value for what you get. 25 grams of protein times 4, 100 carbs. And it tastes amazing. Not sponsored by them in any way. I firmly stick by the Isopure is way to go. There's a link to the Isopure and down below and the more plus more button on YouTube, or go to Costco. They sell it for like $30 cheaper than Amazon. Go to your local Costco and get Isopure. It's fabulous. So I'm still going to stick to my 200 grams of protein a day to preserve the muscles that I have. And that's where we're at. Make sure that you are subscribed so you can continue to watch this shit show. My name is Candace Cunningham, and this has been your tea on GLP.